Treat, 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 feed your dog, give them a reward. I probably sound a little bit like a broken record throughout these videos talking about reinforcing your dog. So when you're training your dog a lot of behaviors, and we're working on not jumping or not lunging, not barking at the windows, being a polite dog, we want to reward often, so I tend to carry my rewards in my pocket so that I can reward my dog at any moment. Anytime he does something I really like, I'm going to reward that behavior. You're going to get a dog who thinks you're exciting. You're more fun than that squirrel that just raced past them. But I don't want those treats or those rewards to be extra calories. So I want to take into account how many calories my dog gets every day, and I want to use his rewards as part of those calories. Obviously, I want those calories to be healthy calories. So for me, dogs need to eat meat. They need a lot of meat. About 70% of their diet should be meat, maybe even more. So I tend to look for meat type of treats. So I want something that might be 100% beef or 100% chicken, because then I can feel very comfortable using those rewards as part of those daily calories. I'll just eliminate some of those calories from his dog bowl and put them in my pocket instead. Dogs also can eat fruits and vegetables, so that's part of my dog's calories as well. So I can use dehydrated fruit or dehydrated vegetables as training treats too. So if my dog, say, gets 500 calories a day, I might take 400 calories as his daily food and the other 100 calories use as food rewards. So I might calculate some meat and figure out how many calories it is per piece and use those as my training treats. However you decide to reward your dog, the important thing is to make sure that those treats are going to be healthy and beneficial to his life, not harmful. So next I wanted to go over a few things on what to look for in treats and what to avoid when you're shopping for your dog. So pet treat companies spend a lot of bucks with advertising and marketing trying to draw you in and have you pick their treat above everyone else's treat. When you're walking down the pet treat aisle, you're bombarded with images and colors and statements, real meat, made with organic ingredients, fresh, natural. So what do? You flip over the bag. So don't look at the front of the bag as your final decision. Turn it over. What does that ingredient panel tell you? So I'm going to look at a couple ingredient panels here. So these are a couple that I can find in my local shopping center, pretty much anywhere I go. And they're fancy, they have shiny bags, you may recognize them. But I'm just going to flip over the bag and look at the ingredients. If I'm using treats for Dexter, again, I really want to make sure they're probably 100% whatever it is. 100% beef, 100% a fruit or a veggie. If I have anything else in that ingredient panel, I want to make sure that they're healthy. So if I flip it over and it says ingredients, my first ingredient is wheat flour. So I don't really like wheat, so I don't really want to give Dexter any wheat. So that's going to be the main ingredient in there, wheat flour. So not so hot. My next ingredient is soybean flour. So there's another flour. And soybeans, I'm not such a fan of soybeans either. Then we have water, and then we have beef. So my fourth ingredient is a little meat. And then we have glycerin. Glycerin is what's in a treat that makes it rubbery and soft and chewy, but it's not something that I want to give Dexter. It's actually something Dexter has and he gets really bad diarrhea. So glycerin's a no-no for us, just for the diarrhea factor alone. And then our next ingredient is whole corn. Yeah, I don't want to give Dexter any corn either. And then sugar. I don't want to give Dexter any sugar, so another big no-no for me. And then it just goes on and on. So this ingredient list keeps going on. It's actually got BHA as a preservative. That's nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. It's got lots of color, yellow 6, dioxide color, blue. Yeah, not so much. So this would, in the junk pile. I wouldn't even give this to my rescue groups. So then the next one we have, another fancy one. My dad's guilty at always trying to give these to Dexter, and I have to stop him in his tracks. I'm okay with my family giving Dexter maybe not the best things, but there's things that I don't want him to have for sure. And this is one of them. I already know that. So I'm going to flip over that ingredient panel. And then on the front of the bag first, though, it says made with real beef. The pet treat companies know that we're looking for real ingredients, so made with real beef. So I'm going to flip it over, and the first ingredient is beef. Yay! If that was it, I'd be done and I'd be happy. But then we have to continue reading. So my next ingredient is meat byproducts. So let me just tell you, meat. If I were to say meat to you, can you picture an animal? What kind of animal are you picturing? You don't know, do you? Meat is anything. Roadkill, euthanized pets, who knows what. It's not specific. It's all the leftover stuff. So yeah, I don't think so. Then our next ingredient, soy grits. Sugar again. They like the sugar because that's what makes the dogs like it, and they get a little hooked on it, just like we do. And then again, another terrible ingredient panel because the list continues on and on. And this one as well has red and then the BHA again. So another nasty, horrible preservative. So when you're in the pet store and you're trying to find healthy treats and you flip over that panel, again, we're gonna look for single type of ingredients. So I'm gonna go down to this next aisle, and it might be tricky. Depending on where you're shopping at, sometimes you might not find them in that store. If you're at a grocery store, you might not have any luck. You might need to go to a small independent pet store or shop online. Your dog's worth the effort to do a little digging. So if I go over here on this ingredient panel, I see rabbit. So yay, my first ingredient is meat. I like that, right? And then one more ingredient, aronia berry. And then that's it. That's all that's in this treat. Rabbit and a berry, a power berry at that. So I can feel very comfortable about giving this to Dexter, and I do, and he loves it. And I can use these as his calories. So meat, rabbit, easy calories. And then I'm gonna go on to over here, and I'm gonna flip over the bag again. And this is dehydrated organic coconut. And that's it. One ingredient, and it's organic, and it's healthy, and it's coconut. Powerful coconut. So many benefits for coconut. So a really healthy treat for Dexter. They're in little strips, so if I were using these as a training treat, I'd break them up in smaller bites. Same thing with the other ones. We want to have small little bite-sized treats, just the size of a pea. So another really healthy treat that I can feel very comfortable giving Dexter. And then I'm going to go to, I actually got these just to get a package of them in the people department. So they are just on the front, crunchy strawberries, freeze-dried fruit, crunchy strawberries. So that sounds good, but it's important to flip over that bag because a lot of these freeze-dried treats have preservatives in them. Sometimes they have sugars in them. So we want to make sure before you just pop it in your cart thinking, oh great, strawberries, my dog can eat strawberries. Again, flip it over, let's take a look. So I flip over the ingredient panel and it says strawberries. That's it. That's all that's in here. So I can feel very comfortable giving this to Dexter because they're just dehydrated strawberries. Now these are actually not the ones I give Dexter. These are the ones that I eat. Dexter actually gets organic ones. So he does eat better than I do. So he actually has dehydrated strawberries that he eats. He's just out of them for now. And then the next one we have, again, another fruit selection. And I will tell you, when I was picking out these fruit selections for me, they had some other flavors, some other kinds of fruit, and some of them did have preservatives. So it actually wasn't just brand, it was from flavor to flavor. So even the one brand that might be straight strawberries, their other flavor had some other ingredients. So make sure that you're looking at the ingredient panel for each one, not just a brand name. So on this one, fruit chips, freeze-dried crunchy banana. So I'm going to flip it over, ingredients, bananas. Yay, there we go again. And again, this one's mine because it's not organic. Dexter gets the organic ones because mommy has to suffer. So the last one that I have here are actually dehydrated fish skins. And so I'm going to look over at the back of the ingredient panel here, and we have haddock skins. And that's it, and that's all that's in there. These happen to be crunchy skins, so I actually use them as a dog chew, but I can break them up as a treat as well because they're so crunchy. I hope Dexter doesn't hear me now. So they can easily break up, and I can use these as a reward. So when you're out shopping for your dog and you're trying to find those valuable treats, something that's really exciting for your dog, remember, we want to look at that ingredient panel, see exactly what's inside of it. The other thing that I do is for Dexter, I do look for organic foods when possible, and I also look at how the things are raised. So if I'm looking at dehydrated beef, I want to know how that beef was raised. Is it antibiotic free, hormone free? Is it grass fed? Those are the things that I always look for. I always make sure that it's antibiotic free and hormone free before giving it to Dexter. So hopefully the next time you're in the pet store and you're looking for some yummy snacks for your dog, you're going to flip over that bag or that box and you're going to read the ingredients and really think about what they are. Remember that meat ingredient? What is it? What kind of meat? So you want to be very specific on what it is that you're feeding your dog. So get out there and go get some yummies for the pup.